So in video 14 we looked at a range of prepositions and adverb, such as those to do with things being inside, outside, in front of, behind, over, under, above, below, and so on. We want to continue with this and give some more examples of adverbs in Guernsey. So simple adverbs can be classified according to whether they are associated with time, adverbs of frequency, space, adverbs of place, how something is done, adverbs of manner, and how much of something there is, adverbs of quantity. We'll use this classification to give some structure to our discussion. So number one is adverbs of frequency. So let's begin with adverbs of indefinite frequency, which give a general indication of the frequency of an action, going down in frequency. So always is teru, or terju. So always can be either teru or terju. Frequently is kazi teru, or in fact kazi terju as well. Usually is dekuterm. Usually is dekuterm. Often is souvent. Often is souvent. Sometimes can be either parfait or auditor. Yeah, so sometimes it's parfait or auditor. Occasionally is parfait à cow. Occasionally is parfait à cow. Seldom is pas souvent. Seldom is pas souvent. Rarely or hardly ever is quasi jamais. Rarely or hardly ever is quasi jamais. And never is jamais. Never is jamais. So here are some examples of usage. Il te teru ishai. Il te teru ishai, he was always here. Or you could say, il te terju ishai. Il te terju ishai. One could also say, il te ishai tout le temps. Il te ishai tout le temps, he was here all the time. Elle te souvent si sa mère. Elle te souvent si sa mère, she was often at her mother's. Elle te parla auditor. Elle te parfait parla. So those both means she was sometimes around there. Snaum était quasi jamais là. Snaum était quasi jamais là. Her husband was rarely there or hardly ever there. So there can also be adverbs of definite frequency. Examples are once a week, every 5 minutes, every Thursday. In Guernsey we frequently make use of the words shark, which is every. Shark is every. And here are the words for all. Tu is masculine singular. Tu masculine singular. Tout feminine singular. Tout feminine singular. And then the plural sound the same as the singular because the S's are not pronounced. So tu is masculine plural. Tu is masculine plural, and tout is feminine plural. Tout is feminine plural. Once is our cow. Once is our cow. So here are some examples. Our cow chaque jour. Our cow chaque jour, once a day. Tous les jours. Every day. Il soulait aller à la ville toutes les semaines. He used to go to town every week. So adverbs can also describe how long some action or event occurred. toujours,
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 toujours, all day. Proof tres moin,
pour tres moin,
pour tres moin,
proof tres moin for 3 weeks. Depuis lundi,
depuis lundi,
depuis lundi,
depuis lundi, since Monday. Finally, adverbs of time can describe when. Si la ostal,
si la ostar,
si la ostar,
si la ostal, I'm there now. So now is ostal, which literally means at this hour. Movie 8 alive la.
je m'en vais être à l'air là,
je m'en vais être à l'air là,
Movie 8 alive la. I'm going to be there immediately. An alternative is je m'en vais être là tout droit.
je m'en vais être là tout droit,
je m'en vais être là tout droit.
Je m'en vais être là tout droit. To say suddenly, we use the words tout d'accord.
tout d'un coup,
Tout d'un coup,
Tout d'accord, all at once. Te y shine tout d'accord.
te shine tout d'un coup,
te shai tout d'un coup.
Te y shine tout d'accord, you're here all of a sudden. There is a specific word for suddenly, subitement, but this tends to be only used to describe a sudden or unexpected death. Finally is finalement.
finalement,
Finalement,
Finalement. Already is déjà.
déjà,
déjà,
Already is déjà. And again is defche.
déchier,
déchier,
Defche. So some examples are allez déjà là.
allez déjà là,
elle est déjà là,
Allez déjà là. She is already there. Allez defche là.
allez déchier là,
elle est déchier là.
Allez defche là. She is there again. To say yet, we use the word encore, and we can use a standard ne and par construction for not yet. So, il est encore là.
il est encore là,
Il est encore là.
Il est encore là. He is still there. So literally, it's he is yet there, but the translation is he is still there. Il n'est pas encore là.
il n'est pas encore là,
Il n'est pas encore là.
Il n'est pas encore là. He's not yet there. Okay, so now let's go on to adverbs of place. So this is number 2. There is also corresponding words which relate to concept of space, although quite a few of these were covered in video 14. One we didn't mention there was yo, which means far, and the related word dio, which means far away or remote. So for example, j'ai read yo à marcher.
j'ai read yo à marcher,
J'ai read yo à marcher.
J'ai read yo à marcher, it's very far to walk. Il est venu de Dion.
il est venu de Dion,
Il est venu de Dion.
Il est venu de Dion, he's come from far away. To say everywhere, somewhere, nowhere and so on, we can use the following. Partout,
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 partout, which is everywhere. Achikbol,
à Chickbor,
a cheekball.
Achikbol, somewhere or at some place. Ochabol,
Ochabor,
Ochabor,
Ochabol is anywhere. Ayo,
ailleurs,
ailleurs.
Ayo is elsewhere or somewhere else. Par Ochabol.
pas Ochabor,
Pas Ochabor.
Par Ochabor is nowhere or literally no place. One can also say par les car, which literally means around the place, when somebody is somewhere around or something has been scattered around the place. Les jouets sont partout par les car.
les chouettes sont partout par les cas,
Les jouets sont partout par les cas.
Les jouets sont partout par les car. The toys are everywhere scattered around. To indicate where something is or to give directions, we can use the following. Paris-Chain.
Paris-Chain,
Paris-Chai.
Paris-Chain, that means both this way, if you're giving directions, but it can also mean hereabouts. Par-là,
par là,
Par là.
par-là, that can be a directions for us saying that way, but it also means thereabouts. Là-bas,
là-bas,
Là-bas.
là-bas is down there. Là-haut,
là-haut,
Là-haut.
là-haut is up there. De là,
de là,
Dydla.
Dydla is from there. Ofiar.
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 Ofiar is towards or in the direction of. Oche.
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 Oche is up to. Onava.
Onavan.
Onavar.
Onava is forward. Onarrière.
Onarier.
Onarier.
Onarrière is backwards. And autour.
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 Autour is around. Okay, so we go on to number 3, adverbs of manner. So these describe how something is done. For example, she gives generously, he speaks softly. So here are a few of the many examples of these in Guernsey. Doucement.
Douchement.
Douchement.
Doucement, so that means slowly, gently, carefully. Véritablement.
Veritablement.
Veritablement.
Véritablement means truly. Mauvaisement.
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 Mauvaisement means badly. Roundement.
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 Roundement means promptly. Justement.
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 Justement means exactly or correctly. Droinement.
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 Droinement means recently. Bonnement.
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 Bonnement means substantially. Bramment.
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 Bramment means straight away. And curieusement.
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 Curieusement means curiously or oddly. So as can be seen, many of the adverbs in this class are formed in English by adding ly to the corresponding adjective. In Guernsey, the corresponding ending is ment, which is generally added to the feminine singular form of the adjective. So for example, certain is certain, masculine singular, certain is certain, feminine singular, and certainement is certainly. There are exceptions to this, particularly if the masculine form of the adjective ends in a vowel. For example, if the masculine form of the adjective ends in e and is preceded by 2 consonant sounds, the e becomes accented and then more is added. For example, possible is possible, but possiblement is possibly. A rarer irregular form occurs with the ent adjectival ending, such as évident, which goes over to the adverb évidemment, evidently. Here are a couple of examples using these adverbs. Il n'était pas réellement intéressé.
Il n'était pas réellement intéressé.
Il n'était pas réellement intéressé.
Il n'était pas réellement intéressé. He wasn't really interested. Vraiment.
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 Vraiment. Really. So as in English, this can be said as a single word. Is this really true? To describe how something is done, one can also use the forms même.
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 Même in this way or in that way. Comme chien.
Comme chien.
Comme chien.
Comme chien like this. Comme chena.
Comme chenin.
Comme chenin.
Comme chena like that. Il est aimable comme chien.
Il est amer comme chien.
Il est amer comme chien.
Il est aimable comme chien. He ties them like this. Faut le faire de même.
Faut le faire de même.
Faut le faire de même.
Faut le faire de même. Do it like this. And so the fourth class are adverbs of quantity. When asking about quantity or how much, one might use words such as autant.
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 Autant, which means as many or as much. Assez.
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 Assez, which means enough. Yok.
Yok.
Yuck.
Yok, which means only. Seulement.
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 Seulement, which also means only. Trop.
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 Trop, which means too much. Quasi.
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 Quasi, which means nearly or almost. Accord.
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 Accord, which means more. Autre.
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 Autre, which means any. Chica.
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 Chica, which means a few. À peu près.
à peu près,
à peu près,
À peu près, which means about or roughly. Tout à fait.
tout à fait,
tout à fait,
Tout à fait, which means completely. And guère.
guère,
guère,
Which means hardly or scarcely. So, some examples of this usage are j'en ai guère.
j'en ai guère,
j'en ai guère,
J'en ai guère, I have hardly any. Il n'est pas tout à fait prêt.
il n'est pas tout à fait prêt,
il n'est pas tout à fait prêt,
Il n'est pas tout à fait prêt. He's not completely ready. Il y a yok asai pour nai.
il y a yok asai pour nai,
il y a yok asai pour nai,
Il y a yok asai pour nai. There's only enough for us. Je crois que nous verrons à peu près un out du zoin.
je crois que nous verrons à peu près un out du zoin,
je crois que nous verrons à peu près un out du zone,
Je crois que nous verrons à peu près un out du zoin. I think that we want about another dozen. Okay, so this is, I'll end with a chat about reference material for those learning Gemni's. The two reference books which I would suggest for the beginner are La Dictionnaire Anglais Gemni's by Marie de Gary and A Descriptive Grammar of Guernsey French by Harry Tomlinson. So the first is a standard dictionary on the subject, and the second is a particularly clear description of the grammar of Gemni's. So two issues that frequently crop up when the teaching of Gemni's is discussed are firstly spelling, and secondly the variation in pronunciation in the versions which originated in different parts of the island. In these videos I have tried to give a presentation of Gemni's which is as straightforward as possible, so I have not highlighted these issues. The spellings which I have used are taken without change from the two references just given. Tomlinson uses the spellings which appear in Marie de Gary's dictionary, apart from just one or two instances. So one can say the spelling used in these videos are essentially those which appear in the dictionary. Similarly, the pronunciation is that used by those coming from the southwest of the island. This has been done both because this is the one that I'm most familiar with, but also because Tomlinson focuses on this version too, and this is also what Marie de Gary spoke.